Welcome, everybody, to the drivers' press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Two parts to this press conference. First up, first group of three, we have last week's race winner Lando Norris. We have Alex Albon and Sergio Perez. Very warm welcome to you all. Lando, 2 wins. How were the celebrations on Sunday night? Was it as raucous as Miami?
Quite the opposite. No, I just went back home and had dinner and went to bed. So, not very exciting at all. But it was, it's just a good feeling, and that's the most important thing.
And how much confidence did that win give you, not only coming into this weekend, but the rest of the season?
Not a lot. It doesn't. Monza's a very different track, so... it gives the team a good amount of confidence and always a little boost, but it doesn't change your feeling. We know we've been performing well the whole year since Miami. We've been doing a very good job, and this was a weekend where everything just went perfectly. So,
the manner in which you won that race, tell us about that and what it makes you think about these 2 championships now. Are they both game on?
They have been since the beginning. I don't know. It's not something you can just question now. I don't think I answered it in every single interview I did last week. So I'm not going to answer every single interview from now on. But we're pushing hard every weekend. Of course, our goal is to catch in both, and especially from a constructor side, it looks a lot more doable than a driver's side. But I'm doing my best, the team's doing their best, and that's what we can hope for.
And tell us about this weekend. The downforce is coming off here. Do you expect the car to be as good in low downforce trim?
Tough to say. If you kind of compare it a little bit more to Spa, probably. I think we were still pretty good there. Obviously, Red Bull were very quick there, but Red Bull have always been very good in Spa specifically. Here is a bit of a question mark. It was probably one of our worst races last year. Mainly because I just sat behind Alex the whole race. But was genuinely one of our trickier races that we did last year. So we're not expecting to be probably as good as we were last weekend. That's for sure. We always knew we were going to be very good in Zandvoort, but a weekend where we're expecting good competition with all of our competitors.
All right, good luck with that. Lando, thank you very much. Checo, can we come to you now and get your thoughts, Checo, your thoughts on this battle between Red Bull and McLaren?
Well, I think what they've shown in Zandvoort was really strong. I think it's been the strongest performance we've seen from McLaren in a while. At the same time, I think we have every hope to believe that Zandvoort is probably a really bad track for us in regards to the wind, that we suffer more than others, and we'll see. We come to a very different track, and we expect them to be still the benchmark. So hopefully we can get closer and be in the mix in the race.
Hopefully you can get closer, you say, but what kind of reaction do you want to see from your team?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is that we understand now the issues with the car. We understand them. It's just a question of how quickly and what solutions we have to fix them. But we exactly know where we are with the car. We know what is the issue, and hopefully in the coming weekends, even already for this one, we are able to make a lot of progress.
You had your best result on Sunday since Miami. Can we conclude that you're happier in the car now than you have been for some time?
I think understanding the issue did help a lot, because I think after Miami we were a bit in the limbo, and we were working with a car that we didn't understand what was going on with it. And I think once you understand the issue, you are able to set up around it, to drive around it. And I think that made a bit of a difference in my side. And but now the most important is to be able to fix the issue.
Okay, and there's a new setup on your side of the garage. Your race engineer, Hugh Bird, has gone on paternity leave. Just give us some insight into how it's working with your new, if you like, race engineer, Richard Wood.
Yeah, Woody, I think, obviously Hugh has been there since I joined Red Bull, and with Woody, he was my performance engineer. He's stepping up for now, and you can see that it's a little bit different, the communication and the way they see things. Everyone has their perception, but I think it's working well, and I just expect Woody to ramp up, and get better every single weekend, and at the same time wishing the best to Hugh and his family.
All right, Checo, thank you. Good luck to you this weekend. Alex, we'll come to you now. Zandvoort looked like a missed opportunity for you and Williams. How was the pace of the car in the race?
I don't think we really were able to show anything. We were stuck behind cars in the first stint. We tried to box early and then got covered off by other cars, so then we were stuck again in the second stint, and that was kind of our race. So as you said, a missed opportunity. I felt like we could have scored points last week, but yeah, obviously something to review. We need to understand the processes that went on to be disqualified. Obviously, it was very unintentional, and it was the car was still good on Sunday with all the changes. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating to miss out.
Tell us about the upgrades and the impact that they've had on performance.
In terms of balance, not really anything to say, just a bit more load. So all the numbers came back positive. They were up, so that's nice. I think we're more in the mix with the midfield. It's still close, and we would need a bit more to get in front of everyone. But this is part of a double package, so we're waiting for a second part of it a bit later into the season, and hopefully that will just tie up some of the balance problems as well, because we're not just missing load, we're missing a bit of balance as well.
And how hopeful are you for Monza this weekend? It's a track where the team has traditionally gone well. You qualified 6th here last year. What's possible?
Yeah, I don't think we have the same car in terms of the same peaks as we did last year. Zandvoort, we were the second slowest car down the straight, so we just need to bear in mind where our car is. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be in the fight for points obviously on the lower end, maybe not 6th, but let's give it a go. I think we've got a decent car.
All right, and final one from me. You've got a new teammate this weekend. First up, how surprised were you by Logan Sargent's departure?
Yeah, I'm kind of focused in my own lane. So obviously, more than anything, just I know Logan personally. He's a super guy, and things didn't work out, but I'm sure whatever he gets on and moves on to do, he's going to be very good. I know the pace that he has, and at the same time, of course, Franco's now joining, so there's a bit of a learning curve for him, but I think he's coming at the right moment. If I could choose a track to do my first race at, I think Monza is one of the more forgiving ones, better than Baku or Singapore.
All right, Alex, thank you for that. Good luck to you this weekend. Let's open this to the broadcasters now. Who's got our first question? David, yep.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. All right, Lando, I won't ask you about the title. I'll ask Sergio. You're in the thick of it. You've seen the results, ebb and flow, and you've seen the momentum McLaren have got. Do you think both championships are now up for grabs, both drivers and constructors?
Well, I think there are 9 races to go still, so I think definitely the momentum is with them, but we're not sitting back. We as a team working really hard to find the solutions. I think has been a really good step taken to understand the issue. It has taken us probably a little bit too long, but we know what are our problems, and it will just be a matter of maximizing from now until the end of the year and see where we end up. But I got every hope that we can bring some performance to the car in the coming races.
Thank you, Checo. Yes, Diego.
Diego Mejia, Fox Sports Mexico. Question to Alex, and maybe Lando and Checo can comment afterwards. What's the main challenge that Franco's facing, jumping in the middle of the year, and what makes it different from stepping in as the season starts?
I think in some ways it's a nice thing that he's got. In my opinion, he knows the seat's not up for grabs next year. There's no pressure in terms of having to deliver, and you're not trying to get a seat for next year. So in some ways I think it's more just a bit of experience. I don't know what Franco's going to do next year, but the things you learn in F1 can help you a lot into, let's say, if he does another year in Formula 2 next year. So enjoy it. And of course there is a bit of a learning curve, but he's been in the car a couple of times already. So I don't think it will be such a big thing. Maybe more about the physicality when we go to Qatar and Singapore. That will be a bit of a surprise, I think, or not a surprise, but a difficult thing to get used to. But yeah, I think also Williams are great at, educating and teaching the drivers how to get the most out of it. So also I think I'll try and help him as much as I can as well.
Checo, can we get your thoughts about being parachuted in mid-season?
Yeah, I think it's a massive challenge, definitely. But obviously, when you get the opportunity, you have to go for it. I think he's been with Williams for quite a while now. I think it will really speed up his learning. Now that he will be racing, he will see what Alex is doing, how the team works during a weekend, and that will open his mind so much to whatever he does next. I think he will be a much prepared driver in the future. So I will just recommend him to enjoy his opportunity, enjoy the moment, and maximize the chance.
Thanks, Checo. Lando, anything? Franco?
No, I guess just wish him the best. I'm sure it's not an easy thing. I think the main thing is he knows the track, he knows the car. It's just like external pressure, but I think he's a guy who can probably deal with it very well. And I think the more difficult part of coming in mid-season is just we're on top of everything. We know how the tires work, how everything works, and we're able to predict everything. For him, it's the complete opposite almost. He's going to go into certain times in qualifying and races just not being able to preempt what's going to happen with the tires when they get to this temperature, what's going to happen, how then do you have to drive. We're prepared for everything and every step of the way, and for him that's going to be the tough part. But he's there for a reason, because he's talented and he's a very good kid, and I'm sure he'll do just fine.
All right, thank you all. Next one, yeah.
Yeah, Roland Rodriguez from DAZN Spain. A question to Lando. Talking about external pressure that you just mentioned, in your 6th year of Formula One, you are fighting for everything, winning races, and let's see if the championship maybe. Does it make you change the way you approach the weekend or even your driving style?
Probably not as much as you think. And I think because I struggled a lot with this when I started in Formula One. Like my first, second year and into my third. Because I struggled with it so much back then, I feel like I learned pretty well how to handle it. And that's also, I would say, helped me even in the position that I am now. When I know I'm maybe not directly in the fight of a championship where I'm, neck and neck with with Max, but just dealing with these, more questions and the pressure of everyone thinking that I have to deliver every single weekend. Also knowing myself that I have to deliver every single weekend. But I think because I struggled a bit with it, or quite a bit with it in the past, I feel like I'm able to deal with it in a much better way now. And therefore it doesn't have much of an effect. There it still is, and I know there's more pressure. The team are probably going to feel a little bit more pressure, and externally there will be more pressure on me. But it's also up to me to deal with it in the way that I feel best. And at the same time, therefore, I don't really feel it that much. I'm comfortable that I just have to go out and drive, and that's all I can do, really. Not think about these external things. So, no, in the place I am now, fighting for wins and fighting in the championship, honestly, I feel like it's another weekend.
Do you enjoy the extra pressure?
I don't think of it at all. So I think there's always pressure, which is the main, I still get so nervous for qualifying. For the races, I still get just as excited and just as nervous. I barely eat anything on Sundays. I struggle to drink anything on Sundays. Just because of nerves and just because of pressure. But I think just how you turn that into a positive thing, how can you make that, how do you not let it affect you in a bad way, and how can you actually use it in a good way to help you focus on the correct things and so on. But I'm sure I do now, and probably will forever, when you enter Q3 or any qualifying lap, when you have to go out and deliver. I know it gives you butterflies every time, because it's there's so much nerve, so much pressure, and if you do one thing, break centimeters or a meter too late, or you turn in at the wrong timing or whatever it is, it finished, game over. And the knowledge of that just puts you under a very tense feeling. But also it's an amazing feeling at the same time that I don't feel like maybe you can replicate in many other sports and many other things. I'm not too sure, but I still get nervous, and I probably will forever get nervous.
Thanks, Lando. Okay, next one. Yeah.
Nicola Severini from Sky Sport Italy. A question for Lando. After your massive win in Zandvoort, have you found back your smile, and are you ready to start a new cycle in the second part of the season? Is there any chance?
I mean, I've smiled more since last weekend for sure, but you know, like a lot of the questions, for me, a win is incredible, and is generally one of the best feelings you can have, because this is what I dreamed of, and this is all I wanted to achieve. But and as much as I really do not think of the championship at all, for me it's just one race at a time. So that's like you can see it in a positive way and a negative way, that the only thing I care about now is this weekend. I couldn't care less about next weekend or the weekend after or whatever. It's just, what can I do today? What can I do tomorrow? What can I do Saturday and Sunday? That's just how I live. That's my process of life. But the same flips when it's post-weekend. I won the race. We won the race. Sunday night, I just went out for dinner with my friend. My car broke down. We had to push the car all the way back home. Like, it was just, couldn't have ended in the worst way, but it was just a back to normality kind of thing. And I kind of forget about it. By the time I'm on Monday, I was just back to training, and then thinking, okay, that's one race done. That's part one of, 10 or 9. And you kind of have to just forget about it and focus on the next time out. And that's this weekend. So I use it in a good way for me, but it's one race at a time, and I don't think of this kind of longer term stuff that